I'm Zach, and sometimes when I take edibles, they work.
I'm Ben, and I eat edibles and then work. Sometimes.
Sometimes I edibles when I workables.
The worst was when I was a little too confident on taking a huge edible on like a flight to Italy. And like I was like, oh, this is in my mind. It was like, oh, this is like a a whole day thing. I'll be fine. Didn't get a wink of sleep on the plane, and then like landing and having to go right to an office.
Oh God!
And then like getting off the plane, I'm like, not only am I tired, but I'm also like still high.
That's not a great place to be.
No.
Did you at least get to eat like a big ass Italian meal when you weren't high?
At a truck stop. Yeah. It was I think I talked about it in my cancel Europe rant, but yeah, it was most of that trip we ate food at a truck stop, and it was literally like cafeteria style, but then they scoop your food on a plate and they put the plate in the microwave, and there's like 4 microwaves stacked on top of each other, so they have like multiple plates going at the same time.
Yum.
It's just funny how like that was like the majority of my Italian food experience.
Can you scrape me some cheese onto there? Thank you.
It wasn't bad though. Like for the situation in the truck, like it was actually good for what it was. But yeah, everything was still fresh. Tomatoes are always fresh. That was one thing I loved. It's like anytime you get a tomato, it's always good.
That's good. I mean, truck stop tomatoes here in America is where COVID originated.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like the Subway tomato.
Oh God. And here's the thing. I don't even like tomatoes. So
yeah,
like a really good one, I still am not a big fan, but I can live with. But it's got to be a damn good tomato. So like, yeah, you look at like a Subway one, and you're like, this fucking thing is overripe, or like, what the fuck is wrong with it?
It's pink. It's like white. It's like a slight pinkish hue. It's like the same color Accelerator was when it was really faded.
Those are actually legally tomatoes.
So I didn't know this. Apparently, they inject food with like silicone to preserve them.
Nestle, evil Pringle bastards.
Yeah, like Costco produce sometimes weirds me out. Like the bananas and the avocados. Like you buy the avocados and it's like you buy them and 3 weeks goes by. It's like, how are these not soft yet? Like what the fuck is in these things to make them preserved? It's like a prop.
They're made out of recycled bullets. Yum yum. Eat up. Throw them in the microwave.
Speaking of Costco, you know the Costco guys?
Boom.
So that's such a cultural thing. I didn't know what it was until maybe like a couple weeks ago. And
Ben not knowing who the Costco guys was until just a couple weeks ago. That's not very tasty. Only one boom. Boom.
It's a whole fucking trilogy. And they were on like Jimmy Kimmel Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, and he looks pained while he's talking to these guys.
God, it's so dumb.
Yeah, it's bad.
See, I always thought like Costco was like just like Sam's Club. Like it was like I still am not a fan because there's somehow you go there anticipating to save money, but it's still like $800 every time.
You think you're gonna save money, and then you're like, I mean, I don't know if I need a wine cooler, but I've never seen quite such a nice one, and it's a little cheaper than I thought they would be.
Yeah. And
You're
like I've even compared some of even the food stuff. Like when you compare it, price per ounce, like it's almost the same as any other grocery store. But you're like, oh, this is a big tub, so of course it should cost $30. But it's really only like 1.5 sizes bigger than the one you can get at like a Kroger or Kroger adjacent grocery stores.
Yeah, ooh, 3 pounds of grated mozzarella cheese.
The only thing that makes sense is like paper towel, like cleaning supplies, paper towels, like butter, milk, eggs.
Dry good or canned goods too.
Yeah. Assuming you eat them as you would normally, because the other problem is like there's like the first couple days after a Costco run where it's like, oh yeah, I'll eat 4 granola bars, I'll eat 5 of everything. And then it's gone after a week.
Yep.
And then the shit you need, it's like, well, we don't need to go to Costco this week, but like, we don't have enough to cook food. We got these like Indian packaged bags of Indian food things that we can reheat.
I had frozen taquitos for lunch and dinner for 3 days straight. And now we don't have any frozen taquitos left.
Yeah, it's we almost bought like a sink the last time we were there.
Just on a whim?
Yeah, and then it was like, when are we going to do this? Like, when are we going to replace the sink? It's not going to happen. At least I'm not doing it anytime soon.
That's the thing with Costco. Shit you wouldn't even think to buy.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I never actually saw one in a store before. Might as well just pick it up.
Yeah, my friend, like, I went over there and he ended up buying like the 86-inch TV or whatever giant TV it was. And it was funny because it was on this like it was on like the existing TV wall mount, but it was so big it had to like go at an angle just so it could get into, because there's a corner of the wall. And it looks so ridiculous. And he's just like, yeah, I didn't need this. I went for diapers and I came out with the TV.
Fucking Costco, man. You're like, I just went in for a hot dog and I left with 3 caskets.
The food court, I've not done. I've done the pizza like to go, but I haven't done the other stuff. Some of that shit too is like, I just don't like. There's nothing really healthy there. There's the chicken bake that's like 1,200 calories, and then people put the hot dogs in the chicken bake.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's heart conscious, right?
Yeah. And then there's like the 700 calorie coffee chocolate shake thing, which that's not a nice coffee. That's just a coffee flavored milkshake.
What about like a fruit smoothie?
Haven't had those, but I'm sure those are pretty high, loaded with sugar.
I know. I'm sure they are. It's like they're actually a sorbet smoothie.
Yeah, that's like that's like the whole, like when people are like, oh, I'm gonna get a coffee, and then they like walk out with a frappuccino.
You're like, that's 800 calories.
Yeah, your morning milkshake.
The worst is people who say I'm gonna get a coffee and then they get like a cookies and cream frappuccino, and it's like there's not even caffeine in there. There's not a trace of coffee touching that thing.
So do you have to add coffee to the frappuccinos? I always assume that they came with the coffee, or like it was mixed with coffee.
So there's like a coffee base and a cream base. So the coffee base is based on coffee.
Yeah.
But it's like a powder that you mix with water.
Okay.
And
interesting.
Yeah, like maybe like an instant coffee type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're either coffee or cream based. You can like add an espresso shot or whatever, but there's very little what you could even qualify as coffee in like a coffee frappuccino. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit's fucking 60% ice.
Yeah, it kind of seems like the frappuccino is what really expanded Starbucks because, like, I mean, shit. Okay, and also I'm pretty sure I've had this exact conversation multiple times in this recording, but like any Starbucks in a small town in the Midwest is probably 90% frappuccinos.
And pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah. Because every fucking time I go in there and I just want a cold brew, it takes 10 seconds to pour into the cup. And it's behind a queue of like 12 frappuccinos. And I feel so bad for the people working there because they're just constantly like washing blenders and like blending shit and mixing things. And there's like 9 instructions.
The berries, then the cream, then the whipped cream. The ice.
3.5 pumps caramel, 2 1/4 pump chocolate,
6.138 Splendas.
That's the other thing. Have you ever seen the water talks?
Not directly, but I've seen like a video about them.
Yeah.
The world is weird in 2025.
Yeah. I'm going to make my water of the day. Here's 1 bottle of water, and then here's 25 various pumps of syrups in 3 different packets of flavoring.
Like, that's so goddamn disgusting.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, it's really not water anymore.
Right. I think that it exists just for the controversy because people they'll say like it's my water, and then all the comments are like that's not water, and then it just people fight in the comments.
Just like it's my water for the day, and you take a piss in a Stanley cup. Water talk. God. Well, we're officially back from our Southern California excursion.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was a blast.
I had a good it took me a good week to recover. I'm pretty sure I got sick somehow, which is the one downside. I think it was whatever there was that one night where like both of our throats started getting sore.
That would have been Saturday.
Yeah, so I don't know what that was about.
I mean,
but whatever it was,
we did share a joint that night, but I don't think that was related.
No, it would have been. I would have guessed it probably was somewhere on the first day.
Yeah,
like either at one of the restaurants or something.
Yeah,
I didn't have any. What was weird is like I didn't have any like symptoms other than this. I had the sore throat like for the day or two, but I didn't have like a fever or headache or anything. I was just fucking exhausted. Like I could not keep my eyes open. That Monday morning doing that double flight was fucking brutal.
I bet, dude.
And then like I got home from like I normally come home from a work week pretty exhausted, and that was like double exhausted. And yeah, but it was good though. I think I had a total of like 70,000 steps total over the whole trip.
Yeah, man. We got fucking steps on steps on steps every day. I know at least 2 of those days I cleared 30,000.
Yeah.
Which is like, whew. But you know, it's good. Good to be, use it or lose it, right?
Yeah.
So good to be moving the muscles. We definitely missed you at Disneyland.
Yeah, that sounded fun. I'll just have to make a effort to go. I want to go in like a special event of some kind.
It's the 70th this year, July.
Is that like a month long thing, or what are they doing?
It's from July until I think TBD,
Okay.
but July 17th is the actual 70th anniversary of Disneyland. But the month of July will be good,
Yeah.
for that. If you're interested in potentially doing a Run Disney event at Disneyland,
That's like a marathon thing,
half.
or yeah.
I think it's either half or a 10K. We signed up for it, but for reasons I'm not going to disclose here, probably can't participate because it's in September.
Yeah.
I may be able to, but anyway, that's a side conversation. Anyway, Disneyland, yeah, July will be the 70th. They're doing some cool stuff for it, bringing back some of the good nighttime stuff. I think Paint the Night is coming back, if I'm not mistaken, and Magical Journeys, the fireworks show. And they're going to open up Walt Disney A Magical Life, which is not exactly replacing Mr. Lincoln, but it will be for the 70th. After which it'll be rotating with Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
So is that an animatronic thing?
Yeah, it's the first animatronic of Walt Disney.
Okay.
There'll be a show where it's like the set is like his office, and there hasn't been much said about it other than that. But it'll be cool to see an animatronic Walt. Now, the nice thing was, again, crowds and weather were on our side that day, which worked out nicely because Lance and I were able to get pretty much all the e-tickets done and only needed to buy the individual attraction pass for cars.
Okay, nice.
Because we did Space, we did Big Thunder, we did Rise of the Resistance, Millennium Falcon, which we got to be pilots on, which is cool. Let me open up my notes. There, Incredicoaster, Goofy Sky School. Here we go. Yeah, Matterhorn. We only got to do the Fantasyland side because Tomorrowland side was being filmed on. Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise, Indiana Jones, Sky School. We did the Pal Around, which was a lot of fun. Radiator Springs, Incredicoaster, Guardians of the Galaxy, Rise, and Haunted Mansion. So it was a busy day, but we did pretty much everything.
Nice.
Small World was closed, unfortunately, and we didn't make it back to Toontown, so didn't end up on Roger Rabbit's or Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Roger Rabbit. Did we do that that time in 2009?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know what that ride is.
It's a dark ride with a teacup vehicle, basically. So it's like a taxi, but the steering wheel controls it spinning. If you can picture that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think. Oh, Jesus!
It's pretty cool. I think it's the only one of its kind in the world, really.
Hold on.
If you like,
just interrupted me.
Oh, no worries.
Go lay down.
Your dog is super cute. Pet Ruger for me.
He just like barged the door open. He's like, "What are you doing in here?"
So yeah, but you were definitely missed because it sucked to have you bail.
Yeah, I wish I could have. I wish I could have gone. In fact, like, I think Disneyland. Like, I'm totally down for Disneyland, but like when I think about Disney World, honestly, like I'm losing my like interest of Disney World because of how much like, because that's what, like, if you run it to like hit everything at Disney World, that's like what, at least 3 days?
Three,
Maybe.
I mean, maybe 4 if you really want to be thorough.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas Disneyland, you still can do all the major stuff in one day, but couple caveats. We stayed open to close.
Mm-hmm.
So that's at 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's a pretty full day.
Yeah. What did you guys do in the morning, like with bags and Uber and all that?
We just Ubered over to the Motel 6, main gate, which is on Disney Way. So it's maybe 10-minute walk tops to get to the harbor entrance of Disneyland.
Yeah.
So they held our luggage while we went to the park. And then we did
nice.
like a break at midday to get checked into the room and stuff.
Okay.
So that worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
And then the next day I had to switch hotels because it was 90s night at Disneyland, which I had a ticket to. And I wasn't going to miss out, right? It was a blast. I had to go to Garden Grove to the Motel 6 there because everything else around Disneyland was over $200 for the night, which was, a little hefty. So Garden Grove, Harbor, and whatever it is, that was only $100, so that was fine. But I had to take all my luggage on the bus.
Oh shit! How long of a bus ride's that?
25 minutes or so.
Oh, okay. That
wasn't terrible. Wasn't bad at all. I ended up walking back to the park that on Tuesday, right? I went in the morning, did some rides. I got on Soarin' over California. That was the only other big one we didn't get to go on because it was Food and Wine Festival. So it was Soarin' over California, which I did not want to miss out on, and I'm so glad I did. And I took the last of those edibles that morning. Yeah. And it hit at just the right time when I was in queue. So like I went on Soarin' and this is fucking, I was like so high that like the fucking ride made me cry with the music. And I'm like, oh my God, California's so beautiful. But it was a fun time because I didn't realize like that was the first time pretty much ever in my adult life I've gone to an amusement park by myself. Just never really came up.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I'm going to get high and do whatever I want.
I mean, in a weird way, I feel like Disney is almost one of the better parks to go by yourself.
It is because you can really take your time.
Yeah. Yeah, like a Six Flags alone is, at least in my experience, is almost like I tend to get, like, I get bored of it much more quickly. Like I ride everything and then I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna like just hang out here alone. And then I usually end up leaving a little early.
Yeah, like I feel like if I went to Magic Mountain alone by myself one time real quick driving back from Disneyland because we crashed out in that same hotel we stayed at. And I was like, I'll just go do a lap. And that's all I did. Because it was holiday in the park. I was like, I just want to go see the lights. So I just walked and did a lap, like 45 minutes, because, you know, that park's huge. And then just walked back, because I'm like, eh.
Oh, I'm losing you.
Uh-oh. Shit. Can you hear me at all?
I think I lost Zach.
All right. Technical issues resolved. So, 6 hours ago when we first started recording, we were talking about going to parks alone by yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's one of those things where the park has to have good atmosphere for me to enjoy it. Like, I don't know if I really enjoy a Six Flags park by myself anymore. Six Flags America was definitely kind of eye-opening with that because my intention was like, yeah, I'll go and just, hang out and I'll ride everything and just like hang out at the park. After 2 hours, I was like, all right, I'm bored. I need to get the fuck out of here. And then Bush was cool though.
Yeah, I could see Bush, like, it's got good theming.
Yeah. There's also like, I don't know what it is. It's like, the nicer the park is, the weirder you feel there being there alone for some reason. And also like how popular it is with other enthusiasts can make a difference. Because when I went to Bush, I ran into tons of enthusiasts and it made it slightly less awkward.
That checks out.
But yeah, like whenever I've done a lot of parks alone lately, and it's same kind of thing. Like Universal was a lot of fun even by myself, because like I didn't even care, because everything's more immersive and like everything's like a little more exciting. Whereas like Busch Gardens in Florida, that was like brutal being there alone. That was like I felt like it was like a movie where like the guy's like wandering through the desert, like trying to find water and stuff and seeing mirages and like hallucinating. It's basically my Busch Gardens Tampa in July experience.
I mean, yeah, that park's like 8 miles around.
Yeah.
By the time you get over to like SheiKra, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, and that was like, too, like, yep. And then I was like, I have to like go into the fucking like I was like gift shop bouncing just to like get AC.
I need to sit down.
I was like, oh my God, gift shop. How much? $9 for a smart water? Fuck it. And then what sucked too, like, and then like when it rains, like the time at SeaWorld parks are weird to be at alone because they're so dead.
I bet.
Yeah.
I mean, the one in San Diego was nice, but
it's a nice park, but they all have that same kind of like desolate vibe. It's almost I don't know. It's not necessarily depressing, but it is almost it's a little weird.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like I can see the ride I want to go on from here, so I guess I just go that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because there's nothing around.
They're also very like, they also all look like Planet Coaster parks.
The queue lines are really interesting.
Yeah.
Like the one for Manta at San Diego was like interesting.
Yeah, I think it was done well. I also just like how they do something other than just like cement blocks and like the silver handrails. There's actually like music, and there's like plants, and the queue lines don't just like go into switchbacks. They usually kind of meander a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did the dolphin show when we were there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which, and it was very funny how like they said over 20 times about like consent with the dolphins, which I thought was kind of funny.
Means yes. Means no.
It's like, this dolphin snowflake, I'm going to first ask it if it's okay if it wants to perform a trick. If it doesn't want to, too bad, or whatever. They're just like, we don't force any of our dolphins to do tricks. It's everything by their own consent.
Dolphin, do you want to consent?
And then they made like, it's just definitely like, that script was severely altered after the whole Blackfish thing.
Yeah.
Like, and they go really far out of their way to make sure that they're, not they got all their T's crossed. But it's also crazy. Like, we were looking like, isn't that like one of the top 10 most visited parks in the country or something?
Yeah.
That is insane to me.
Not top 10, but like top 15.
Yeah. That
I think
blows my
they had
mind.
over like 10 million visitors a year.
Which, I mean, maybe just pure because it's open year round maybe helps. But like when we were there, it was not busy. And that seemed like a pretty normal SeaWorld day. I guess I've never been in a SeaWorld park when it's like slammed.
I got to imagine that during the summer, and then also like they got to get a lot of field trips too.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like a 365 operation, you know? So, like, you know, every day that's going to help.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a little kind of preview of Wrath of Rakshasa. I still have always been underwhelmed by a dive coaster, but I do think the mini ones are better.
Yeah, Emperor was pretty sweet.
Smooth in the front row, rougher in the back row. It is funny though, like that first drop, when we rode in the front, that first drop though, like that definitely like messed me up, nauseous wise.
Really?
Like only for like a few seconds. It wasn't that stomach drop feeling. It was more of that like I could feel like my inner ear getting fucked up on the drop because it was like the first ride I've ridden in a while. Where I was very just like, whoa, okay.
That was a good ride to start the trip off on.
Yeah. Speaking of Wrath, it looks like it's almost done.
Yeah, it might actually be open for opening day.
I'm excited to hear the reviews.
Same. If it's open, the next time I have a trip to Chicago planned, I'll see about making my way up there.
Come on, go lay down. Go lay down.
Go get the credit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be up there visiting family at some point. I'll have to make a stop.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. New ride there. And oh, you know what? Lance and I had an interesting conversation at Disneyland that I thought would make good fodder for the podcast. So, you're familiar with the Pixar Pal Around or Dino's Wonder Wheel?
Yeah.
So, couldn't you theoretically... Yeah, right? Couldn't you theoretically count that as like 12 roller coasters?
I mean, yeah, you could. I think the only thing that's different though is that because the car is not engaging in any like potential energy itself.
Sure it is. Because of the way the tracks are shaped.
Well, right. But I mean, like the track is essentially moving and the car is stationary. I mean, you could I definitely understand the argument for it, but I think on that one, like versus a car that has to engage with like, let's say a motor or a lift hill or tire drives, the track is stationary, the car moves. In that case, the whole structure is the track, which is moving. It's different, but it is gravity powered and it is a full circuit.
And it has wheels and runs on rails.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's the same reason, like, is a super loop, those like Ring of Fires are those coasters. Because it's basically the same thing, I would say. Like, in my mind, those are two pretty much like equal kind of like those are kind of like equal rides.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I would like to say, clarify, I don't personally believe it's 12 roller coasters. But if you look closely at the way it operates, it's like, yeah, it could be. I couldn't really argue against counting it, you know?
Yeah.
Much like the example of the streetcars here in San Francisco.
Yeah.
They're partially gravity powered. They run on rails, have wheels.
I mean, I'd almost say like I would count a first gen free fall over a Wonder Wheel credit.
That's fair.
And I don't really see too many arguments about first gen free falls being credits. I'm sure somebody's done it, but I mean that's basically a coaster.
Yeah, my like one of my other criterias, like there's a couple criterias for me, like does RCDB endorse it as a roller coaster? Not the only, it's not the end all be all, but it's like, does RCDB endorse it as a roller coaster? Does the manufacturer and does the park and manufacturer present it as a roller coaster?
Yeah.
And in the cases of like, you know, Wonder Wheel and whatever the first gen free falls, the answer is no, right? So with the Super Loop, that one's a little more complex because the parks did kind of market them as roller coasters. So it's like,
yeah,
but RCDB doesn't honor it. But it's like, you know, it's not a hard fast rule. It's like those are criteria where it goes, well, if all three of those boxes are checked, it's a pretty good chance that's a roller coaster.
Yeah. Now, one thing that would be kind of cool is if you take the free spin or the SNS free spin concept and you do that on a wheel, but you have it where the wheel is constantly moving and it's like a full circuit around the wheel. Like you definitely have to do some like really intuitive problem solving and brainstorming to figure out how to do it. But wouldn't that be kind of cool? Like you look at the wheel and it's like one full circuit track and it's doing like all these zigzags all around the wheel. And as the wheel rotates, you like, you know, get caught in a groove and then you go around a corner and you go back and forth and you go to the next one. And then maybe there's a bigger drop and maybe you like, you know, roll all the way to the bottom or something. Maybe have a few drive tires. I don't know.
I can imagine like just honestly switching out some of the cars in a Wonder Wheel type of thing and replacing them with like a single row car.
Yeah.
With the rotating body. But like running on the inside of the track, obviously.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy because it'd be like endless head choppers.
Mm-hmm. And you can even utilize magnetic brake fins to kind of like slow you down at certain points too. So like if there's like a curve in the track. Now obviously the problem is you'd have to rely on a consistent speed of the wheel motor and a constant rotation, but you know, you could like have it to where you have this tight turn and it's all brake fins and it holds you slowly through the corner until you get around the wheel a certain point and then it lets you go. And then you go through like a bigger section.
That'd be intense though.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably have to like trim the shit out of it. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be a super intense ride, but I don't know, do something different, make it kind of intense. There's a way to do it.
I wish top spins were more prevalent still.
Yeah.
It just made me think of a top spin, and
Alton Towers is marketing a brand new top spin, which is
that's
kind of
true.
funny.
I guess I spoke too soon, right? They got the Toxicator just opened.
Yeah. So I also with this computer, I bought this game Indoor Lands, which is pretty fucking cool because you can build custom flat rides. So you can, it has this like whole gallery of like, or catalog of like different parts and like motors and hubs and hydraulics. So you literally like build a piece and then you can like connect a hydraulic to it. And then you can connect that to a hub. And then you can program the speed of the hubs and the directions. And then you can have, like hinges, like free spinning and free swinging hinges. And you can like connect seats to things. And it's pretty fucking cool. So I've been messing around with that.
That sounds pretty interesting.
I almost like it more than Planet Coaster. But you can build some pretty fucking like stupid rides. Like definitely rides that would be deadly, but they look insane. So that's been fun.
Yeah, you got any other trips planned this year?
I'm going to Hawaii in a few weeks, but that's kind of it.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're doing the like backpacking on the beach kind of thing. On the beach they filmed Jurassic Park and also the 2009 movie A Perfect Getaway.
Not familiar with that second title, but Hawaii's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'm
amazing,
excited.
So
it's also the first time I'll have taken more than like 2 days of PTO ever at this job. So that's good.
Yeah, you probably earned a vacation.
Yeah.
Are you looking at Roller Coaster Rodeo?
That's on my radar. I don't think I can make a designated trip plan for it yet. I think it's going to be one of those like 2 weeks before kind of thing. Only because I feel like basically we got to like do Duluth, we got to do family stuff, and like the summer goes by so fast.
Yeah,
I always overcommit shit. So I don't know. That's like that'll be one of those like, oh shit, the weekend's free. All right, I'm gonna hop down and last minute join in.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a great event.
I mean, it was fun. I mean, I know it's not the same exact event, but like that 2020 event was a lot of fun. So it seems like one of the last parks, other than maybe Kings Island, that still actually likes enthusiasts. So
yeah, agreed. Like, and normally I'd be like, wow, 3 days at Fiesta Texas is kind of a lot, but I think it's probably going to be a cool vibe there.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately, yeah, I won't be able to attend this year unless like something happens and like somebody drops out of some prearranged group.
Yeah.
And I can take their spot.
I wonder how they sell tickets. I wonder if they cut it off.
They're available still, I think.
Okay.
They were a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me though. Pretty much that's a thing where like only if the stars align absolutely correctly is there any potential I'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But I'll be going to, my new home parks here in the Bay Area for the first time ever.
Yeah, when you heading there?
Well, opening day for Great America is coming up in I think just about 2 weeks here.
Okay, nice.
So I am planning on going to that. And we got a friend on our Discord server who is also here in the Bay Area. So I think I'll be meeting up with them.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. They're doing there's an event for a coaster club going on there too. So I might try to, hang with some friends that may be there. But I don't really want to be too pronounced.
Yeah.
Don't want to stand out too much. Right? Put it that way. So,
yeah,
and I don't know, Discovery Kingdom's been open. I should probably go over there, but I've been waiting because I want Gold Striker to be my 500.
How many? Yeah, what are you at now?
I think like 494.
Okay. Does Great America have? They got 6, right?
I think so.
Demon might not be open. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's 6? Yeah.
If it can't be that, then I'll make it Giant Dipper at Santa Cruz.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
That's my backup plan if I'm not able to make it Gold Striker.
Yeah. Nice. I want to... Yeah, that was nice. I think like this past trip definitely kind of solidified my feelings of how I enjoy theme parks as an adult. Like, I don't want to say that Magic Mountain was disappointing or I don't like it as a park, but like their coaster collection is kind of aged. Like, they really need something new and big. Because like X2, it's just funny how like X2 is still probably like their main kind of, their like marquee attraction. And that's now 20 plus years old. And it's definitely showing its age.
Yeah, that West Coast Racers and Gold Rusher and maybe Ninja are the only rides I could ride more than once or twice.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them I just pass on anyway, obviously, as you saw, and some of them it's like, that's a one and done.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that whole park. Like, half of the rides there, I don't even want to ride. I just do it because it's there, and I'm like, well, I have to do it. Like, I mean, like, and then there's also like in my mind, I was kind of like anticipating, like, oh, it'd be fun to get a couple rides on, Goliath or something. But then after the one ride on it, it's like, no, I'm good. Like, but yeah, it's weird how. I mean, I've kind of felt this way overall across the country of like our whole country's coaster collection. But like, it's weird how we're sort of at the tail end of like this collection of rides from the Coaster Wars of the 2000s. And now most of our rides are just simultaneously aging. Where like when you drive past a theme park and you see this like these big coasters, they're all like 20 years old plus now. It's kind of weird. So now it's like with this whole thing about Six Flags removing a bunch of rides, it's like, is this a good thing? Like, are we going to actually get new rides out of this? Are we just going to like see a reduction in coaster counts? Like, is this concept of a 15 roller coaster theme park even going to be able to survive in the current days of a theme park? It's almost it wasn't like a sad thought, but I don't know. It was a weird, I don't know.
It's like the Coaster Wars, right? Happened early 2000s, right? And then immediately the recession hits, basically.
Yeah.
Before 2010, we're in recession. And so then parks have, like you're saying, like a 15 coaster park. And it's like, they like can't keep doing the Coaster Wars because of the recession. And eventually the economy kind of rebounds. Then they can't staff the parks that they built the size up for, you know?
Yeah.
And then leading kind of to now where it's like, okay, it's all cost cutting. So like cut labor. We don't need it open. Cut rides. So I think my guess is that, I mean, I guess it's kind of unprecedented because if you think about like the 90s and 2000s, that's only like 20 years removed from when these parks were built in most cases.
Right.
So like there's not a lot of precedent to go off of with the industry specifically. But my guess is like most industries, it's cyclical. And it works with the, you know, economy and society.
Yeah.
So it's like when the economy comes around again and is stronger, there might be more demand for different, you know, bigger parks and more varied rides or whatever.
Yeah. But even like, I think though too, like in the late 20 teens when the economy did rebound, like before, like pre-COVID, really the only boom in coasters we saw were RMCs, at least in the United States. It was pretty much other than Disney and other than like excluding Disney and Universal, like there really wasn't a whole lot of like new shit other than RMCs. I mean, like how many new GCIs were there? Like 2 in the 20 teens, and like the only B&Ms we really got out of that were like, I'm trying to think. Oh, I guess like there was like
the
a
wing
Ryan.
coasters, the dive coasters,
And then like Orion.
Orion, right? The Giga coasters, Banshee, and the new style of inverted train / family stuff from B&M.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the most innovative, really.
Yeah. And like even like Magic Mountain's new rides, like I guess I keep forgetting about Twisted Colossus. It's funny how in my brain like there's not an RMC there, even though we wrote it like 3 times.
And there's 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of was like a sad. I don't know. Like I don't know how to feel about it, if I should feel like sad or old or. But like, yeah, and then like you know, it's like you ride Viper and it's like, oh my god, this thing is old as fuck. And then you ride X2, and then I still have that like nostalgia excitement of like, oh well, fuck, this is X2, and it's still a really good ride. But then it's like, oh yeah, it's like 20 some years old now. Same way that you know, like I'm trying to think. Viper was. I don't even think Viper was 20 years old the first time I rode X2.
Imagine going back to like 2009 and then realizing like, oh shit, one day Cedar Fair is going to own Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
I think my fucking head would have exploded.
Yeah.
Like, or what? Oh my god, they must have added like a whole bunch of fucking crazy rides.
Or even just kind of like, or the other thing I play in my brain is like, in the 2000s, like thinking about like how crazy the lines were for X2, and then just thinking like, yeah, one day in 20 years, you'll be back at this park and this will be a walk on.
Oh my god, yeah.
But
yeah,
at the same
we had
time,
to use that Flash Pass special reservation thing to get on it in 09.
Yeah. And there's still like the thing though is like that new exciting coaster kind of like holy shit thing is still there. And I definitely have had those experiences. Like, I don't know, when I think back on the last 5 years of those, like, holy shit, like this new crazy ride, it's been basically like Velocicoaster, the Wildcat's Revenge, Iron Gwazi, basically all the shit on the East Coast. But then that re-ride excitement too of like the older Intamins like Sky Rush and, or not older, but like older, like Sky Rush and Intimidator, those things still hold pretty steady. Like Intimidator was like, I felt like I was riding it for the first time. Like it felt like a brand new ride. Like, holy shit. But I mean, that's kind of it. Like nothing on the West Coast. It almost seems like as a collection of the West Coast is kind of at this point a little underwhelming. Like the West Coast, like California is always seen as this like mecca of theme parks and roller coasters, but I think nowadays it's not really the case, unfortunately. Because even like Discovery Kingdom, like I don't know if it's going to close, but it kind of seems that way. At least like the rumors, like eventually, and Great America's closing. And then so then all you got left is like, besides Disney, Universal is, Magic Mountain and Knott's. Magic Mountain is just like 19 elderly aged roller coasters, and then Knott's, which I want to get into my experience with Knott's too, because it's like the opposite feeling of like,
well, real quick, I just want to say for me, I love Magic Mountain, but the more I've thought about it, it's purely because of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like I watched the America's Greatest Thrills in 3D, Roller Coaster Thrills in 3D tape since it came out. There's another tape I watched since it came out. I think it's Here Comes a Roller Coaster or There Goes a Roller Coaster. It's a kid's video, but if you are so inclined, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I had that as a VHS as well and watched that since it came out. And all of that's just like, it's Magic Mountain. And yeah, it had that 90s appeal. And then, of course, all the Discovery Channel and the other stuff. It was like the park. So like every time I go there, I still get that feeling of like, oh, holy shit, it's Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely like you get in there and the cracks are showing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt like I like Magic Mountain as a park itself, but I don't like their collection necessarily. Like there was nothing there that I wanted to re-ride, and there's nothing I'd really want to go back to. Now, with that said, I mean, I've always liked Knott's, but like Knott's was like a completely new theme park experience as an enthusiast. Like, and I don't know if it's just because I've been like brainwashed by all the 2000s like forum shit posting about that park, but that's a pretty good park. And I think what Knott's does well is that they haven't built anything new. I mean, I guess there's hang time, but it's like it's a small collection, and what they have there is good. And so you still feel like fulfilled and satisfied when you go visit that park, even though like you've been on everything, even though the rides are old, they're still taken care of. Like they have like a perfect mix of like, it's a well-rounded collection and it's a well-rounded park. So it makes going there a lot of fun. And you don't feel like it's like the whole opposite, like Magic Mountain, where you're just like going down this checklist of things you don't really want to ride, and everything there, like you can re-ride it. It's good. It's fun. Like everything's rideable.
Really wish the log flume would have been open for us.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. And so I don't know if people still talk shit about Knott's and that, or if that was just like when we were kids, but yeah, I love Knott's. I think Knott's might be like one of America's like perfect theme parks.
Did you got to go back to Disneyland?
No, I know, but it's like in a different caliber. I'm not like Disney's is like its own thing. Universal's its own thing. I just mean like as like a corporate theme park, Knott's is like pretty good. I really enjoyed.
Man, Knott's is solid.
And like we spent, I mean, a day and a half there. Oh, like, little under a day and a half.
A full day in like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And that was cool to go in at night too.
Yeah, definitely. And you didn't feel like you were overdoing it either. Like planning 2 days at like a Six Flags park, and in your mind, you're like, oh, I want to have enough time. I want to re-ride things. But then like in reality, it's like, okay, I didn't need to do that. But Knott's is like, you can take your time. You can rewrite a couple things. You can like take it easy. It's you don't feel rushed. So
Yeah, we hung out waiting for West Coast Racers to open. That was the longest chunk of time at Magic Mountain that second day.
yeah. And even though everything else was still a walk on, it was just kind of like, I don't need to. I'm good.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
I didn't need to ride Viper again. That fucked my neck up.
Yeah, the only thing I kind of regret skipping out was Tatsu.
Yeah, Tatsu's still good, but it is definitely one and done.
Yeah, that was the main reason I skipped it. It's like it's a great ride, but also like I know it has the potential to be like a day ender for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was midday when you guys wrote it, so I'm like, nah. Just nah.
Yeah.
That's got to be like, just in case I'm heading back to the hotel room right after.
Yeah.
So like end of the night or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Knott's though, it's just totally different. Yeah, like you're saying.
Well, I'm thinking like Knott's might be the perfect park to. Knott's is like the perfect park to take somebody who doesn't really like theme parks, because it's not too much of a commitment, and everything they have there, like a general person can enjoy. Like Accelerator is their most intense ride, and it's like it doesn't overdo it, but it still has that like, holy shit kind of feeling. And like Ghost Rider's good.
Oh, can we also talk just for a second about how fucking cool it was that they let us re-ride on Accelerator?
Yeah. I mean, they let you ride once, but like even that for a Cedar Fair park is still cool.
Because we ended up clocking 7 rides total.
Yeah.
Just by happenstance. Because the line was so short when we went back on Sunday night that we were able to, despite one train operations, you and I clocked 4 rides in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that was cool.
That was awesome.
And definitely one of those things you don't ever really think is possible. Like the concept of like Accelerator being a walk-on is just kind of funny. It is true though about like how like Ghost Rider always has a line.
Yeah.
That's what everybody always says. It's like always an hour, pretty much. Yeah, Ghost Rider was really good. I was skeptical on the GCI retrack. It doesn't have the intensity as it used to, but it's still really good. Like they pulled it off. And like the improved smoothness makes up for the lack of intensity it used to have. Agreed. Like if that was just a standalone brand new GCI, it would still be really good. So I'm glad they like keep that thing going, because especially because it's a wooden coaster in California. And even like everything in that park is just like maintained. It's like you can tell like things have fresh coats of paint, landscaping, buildings. Like it's nice to see, especially after like some experiences of like other parks that are a little more neglected. So yeah, I'm a fan. If anyone out there is doing Knott's as like a half day, like do that as a full day. Yeah, and that's I also am in a similar boat where here I am in my mid-30s, and like for me, like I want a park day to be like more relaxed. Mm-hmm. I don't want to feel like, okay, here, then here, then here, then here, Yeah. And yeah, so like, well, one thing for sure is like being a return visitor, that helps, right? Mm-hmm. But then, yeah, having
parks that offer a more well-rounded collection aside from just roller coasters. That's why I got so frustrated with Great America when I was living in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because I'd drive up there like an hour away from where I lived 6, 7, 8 times during the season. And like the only options are the coasters.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is fun, but it's like we would go up and just like walk a lap around, maybe get food and be like, eh.
Yeah.
So yeah, the atmosphere is a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
And being able to go at a more relaxed pace, I think, helps a lot too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Well, yeah, I gotta unfortunately make a quick hardware run. But yeah, hopefully we can do recording with Lance again on his show.
Yeah, we're
soon.
intending to appear on the Single Rider Line podcast soon, so go check it out. Our buddy Lance. I have a quick question for you, Ben. You ever seen Star Wars?
Like the movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I went to Star Wars Land in Disneyland with Lance. He's a big fan. He really enjoyed it. And I admitted to him I hadn't seen Star Wars. I only saw the original trilogy, and that was when I was a kid. So I revisited recently, and they're pretty good.
I didn't realize they had like a whole Star Wars land. When was
dude.
that? When was that built?
2019.
Okay.
Spot 2, and they got Rise of the Resistance as the big e-ticket, and man, that's the fucking greatest dark ride I've ever been on. And Millennium Falcon, which is super cool because you get to fly it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I was just like, yeah, Star Wars cool. So now that I revisited the movies, I'm like super stoked to go back and see Star Wars Land again.
Nice. Yeah, I'm due to watch the originals. I've seen like all the new ones when they came out, but I haven't visited the old ones in a while.
Yeah, Rianne and I have been working through them, so we are on Attack of the Sith. I haven't seen it, so we're doing the prequels now. We did the original, then the prequels. We're about to wrap up, and then we'll do the sequels, then probably the TV shows.
Nice.
A lot of shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all a side tangent. Let us know your favorite character from Star Wars, and we'll talk about it more later. Hope your project goes well.
It's fine, but like it's not going as well as I was hoping. House project, yeah, it should be fun.
Just pull a Ron Swanson, go in there and be like, if they're like, can I help you with anything? Just be like, I know more than you.
Yeah, fortunately my local Home Depots are not the most they don't have the most proactive, helpful employees, but they have exactly what I need.
Perfect.
I just hope it's in stock.
All right, well, I'm not going to hold you up from going to get it. Thank you all so much for listening. It's been a blast. We'll try to get on a regular schedule for recording these soon so that we can be uploading more regularly because it's fun to record. Anyway, hey, you got anything else, Ben?
No, I'm all good.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks again, y'all. Until next time, your favorite coaster sucks.